And single shines the triple sun. What was sundered and undone shall be whole. The two make one. By Gelfling hand, or else by none. By Gelfling hand? Do you know what that means, Kira?
Wait. This is a piece of the dark crystal.
Then that's what my master meant.
Yes.
Peace, peace. Y'all know what it is. Now it's a vibrate. Not going too far in the future, not going too far in the past. Right now, a lot lately, the energy has been coming up to, you know, again, as always, you know what I'm saying, be tapped into, you know, the spiritual equilibrium and balance of self, you know, the wholeness of self, you know, from the root to the crown, crown to the root. And also, you know, instead of, again, separating the spiritual from the physical, more so like right now, more than ever, you know, putting on your glasses, you know, put on the glasses to really see, you know, the interconnectedness and everything. Now, as I say that, you know, again, there's still that energy of knowing, you know, what's not you and what is, because as an infinite being, of course, you know what I'm saying, like say for instance the pain body, you know, your pain body is not you, you know what I'm saying, and I'm using that terminology of, y'all familiar with the Power of Now book, you know what I'm saying, you know, he speaks on the pain body, and the pain body is that part of the ego that's just looking for confrontation all the time, to just be looking for shit to be mad about, or looking for shit to complain about, or looking for things to, you know, constantly bump heads with somebody about, you know what I'm saying? And again, you know, knowing that that's not your true essence. You might be interconnected with that, you know what I'm saying? But that's not your true being, your true nature, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you know, one of the things is like transmuting shame and guilt for having human tendencies. You know, again, as you start your growth and you got all this information and insight about, you know, again, you know, tapping into the crown chakra, being a multi-dimensional being, and, you know, sometimes again, astral travel and out-of-body experiences, you know, again, if you're not aware of the memo beforehand, to be grounded into, you know that now is the vibrate. You're in a human bodysuit for a reason. You know, I always would use my little story of when I had the DMT trip, where basically it was like a, you know, like a transitioning trip, like a, you know, even a little past the ego death. It actually felt like, you know, or in essence, it was mimicking, you know, the transitioning process, you know. And I remember, you know, having that energy of like, you know, man, just let me go now. Like, I just let me go. I want to go now. And like a little voice was like, tisk, tisk, kind of laughing and like, you know, you're here for a reason, you know what I'm saying? And part of you, you know, being able to transition from this realm is, you know, knowing why you're here right now, why you came back here right now, and fully, you know, being present with that, you know what I'm saying? But again, you know, this energy of transmuting shame and guilt for having human tendencies, you know, I think of, you know, the energy of, you know, asking for help. You know, I feel like that one has been a big one for me, you know what I'm saying, on my growth. I don't, again, as I bring up this example, it's not to, you know, we're not just our sun sign, you know what I'm saying? Our whole astrology, like the show Stargate, you know, our whole natal chart, you know what I'm saying, is a part of, you know, expressing, you know, the energy of what we came down into, you know what I'm saying, or what we you know, in essence, like what our soul mission about. And if anything, you know, it's more so, again, about the North Node and South Node, and everything else kind of is like the details. But, you know, or anything in connection with your moon, you know, any connection with the moon sign or where the moon is at, and any connection with, you know, where Saturn is placed at, anything to do with Saturn, you know, because in essence, that's the two, you know, we could say archetypical energies, the two forms of consciousness, you know what I'm saying, the two forms of archetypes, you know what I'm saying, that are very responsible for karmic cycles, you know what I'm saying, to, you know, to speak on it in that way. But again, like your whole natal chart is, you know, important, and not just the sun sign. And bringing it back to what I was saying is like that, you know, Capricorn energy, you know, of, you know, Capricorn, I think of a lot of cardinal energy in my chart, you know what I'm saying? But of just not wanting to ask for help and feeling like having to ask for help is weak, you know what I'm saying? And everything is a balance. Of course, you're not trying to be out here like just always asking for help, like, hey, help me, 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 help me. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we, you know, again, and more and more we keep, you know, refining the things that we already learned, you know. And I know for me, sharing on my platform, you know, it's like you're watching the older video, you know, if you look at the older videos up until now, you're just seeing, again, that at this point, there's nothing that I haven't really said already, you know. I would say the problem with, if there was a problem with me sharing the insight on my channel, is a lot of insight may be tucked in a 3-hour video or a 2-hour video or a 5-hour video, 7-hour video, you know, whatever the case may be, you know. So some of that may have, you know, got lost in translation, so to speak. But I definitely spoke on it, you know what I'm saying, on different things. So, you know, hence why I did videos so long. But anyway, you know, you'll see like a refining of the information, you know, and one of those things that, you know, again, you're just going to keep hearing the theme of spiritual equilibrium and balance, you know what I'm saying, coming up more and more, you know, and the energy of being observant without judgment. You know, it's no good, no bad, no right, no wrong, you know, not getting lost in duality, you know, things just is, everything has a positive and negative, you know what I'm saying. And what's funny is, like, you know, it goes deep. And matter of fact, I ain't gonna go into that stand now, you know what I'm saying? But everything just has a positive and negative to it. But, you know, just right now, the message is, you know, transmuting shame and guilt for having human tendencies. You know, be easy on yourself right now, you know what I'm saying? Especially right now as I'm speaking, you know what I'm saying? Having all these retrogrades, you know, and the retrograde is dealing with a lot of reflection, you know what I'm saying? A lot of, you know, in essence, you know, these retrogrades been feeling like the transitioning process, in the sense of like having a lot of life reviews, almost like a life review. Like, all right, you remember when you did that? Remember when you did that? You know, like, and it's not to guilt trip you or shame you about it, because that's the toxicity of the situation, is if you are feeling guilt or shame. It happens, but that's not, you know, the state of being, you know, you want to be in now, because again, now reflects in the future, and as you transition, you know what I'm saying. But, you know, let's just say now, you know what I'm saying, you want to transmute that shame and guilt, you know what I'm saying. That doesn't mean you don't have compassion, and you don't have like say for instance, if you did harm somebody in the past, that doesn't mean you don't have empathy towards, you know, that person, place, or thing. Is just for sure not feeling guilt or shame about it, you know what I'm saying? Because also guilt and shame causes a lot of, you know, toxic energies in essence. You know, one of the aspects of, you know, being a narcissist is like, you know, having that shame energy, like, you know, not wanting to look like you're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? Again, back to that, you know, perfectionist and being hard on yourself for your humanity, for being in a human experience and having human tendencies, you know what I'm saying? And again, like, to try to maintain this state of perfection, it causes you to be in a consciousness to, you know, in essence, be toxic and be fake, in essence, because you're going to start faking. And we're not here to be fake, you know what I'm saying? You want to be authentic, like, you know, and yes, you do want to be vulnerable, you know, with sharing things, but, you know, there's a time and place for that, in the sense of, you know, as I say, be authentic. You know, being authentic doesn't mean like, all right, if you're feeling sad, you got to tell everybody, oh, I'm sad right now. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, again, that, you know, it's a balance to that, you know what I'm saying? But you definitely want to be authentic in your expression, you know what I'm saying? Because if you get too in the habit or too used to just always, you know, tacking a smile onto a frown, you know what I'm saying? And using that as an example, because in most cases, you know, we try to look like everything is always going well, instead of, like, you know, most of us won't try to frown when we really feel happy, in that sense, you know what I'm saying? It's more so like, you know, being in this realm and the whole collective subconscious programming of, like, I gotta look like things okay, I gotta look like a perfectionist, you know what I'm saying? Because this is America, we're perfect, you know what I'm saying? And I can only speak from where my soul chose to come down into, you know what I'm saying? And in that perspective, there's a collective egregor, you know what I'm saying, that comes with that energy of, you know, trying to be perfect, you know, whether, you know, from the schooling in this place, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be perfect straight A student, you know, or from a state of, like, with the Olympics, like, you're from, you know, this place, you gotta be perfect, gold medal all the time. And of course, you know, we always looking to do our best in anything we're doing, but, you know, again, you know, loving ourselves unconditionally. And right now, you know, especially again with the energies, may feel a lot of, like, overwhelming energy. So don't judge yourself for, like, having to rest. Like, don't let the little toxic, oh, you being lazy voice, you know what I'm saying, prevent you from, you know, taking the chill pill, slowing things down, you know, resting more, taking a long ass nap in the middle of the day, you know, if necessary, you know, because again, and these reminders is very helpful, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I know, you know, with any video I do, it may not be for everybody, but there's somebody out here that could benefit from me speaking on this right now, you know. And, you know, again, like, getting caught up in that, you know, gotta hustle, gotta make things happen, gotta, you know what I'm saying, gotta do this, gotta do that. And I find that we're, you know, that energy, you know, internally and collectively is definitely being transmuted, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you let the quote unquote, you know, you are the abundance, and you let the abundance come to you. You know, it's not about chasing no bag, you know, because again, in the law of polarity, if you're chasing something, then that means you're creating something running from you. You know what I'm saying? If you're chasing, then something is running. You know, if you're chasing your soulmate, then your soulmate gonna start running from you. You know what I'm saying? If you're chasing funds, then the funds gonna start running from you. If you chasing peace, then the peace gonna run from you. Because that's another thing, you know, understanding that you already complete right now. You know, you just having to remove all the, you know, the delusions, the toxic subconscious programming, you know, the toxic thoughts, you know, transmuting the toxic thoughts and things internally. But, you know, because what I realize is, like, you know, you, in a lot of cases, you will be doing a lot of things that's in alignment for your highest good, but then it's certain subconscious programming voices that we grew up with, you know what I'm saying, that, like, oh no, you need to do more, oh no, you know this, you know. And again, in a realm where the universe always says yes to you, in essence, you know what I'm saying, for lack of a better word, you know, that means that there's nothing, you know, like, do what you feel intuitively moved to do, you know, and of course you got to do the work to know what's your intuition and what's a program, but, you know, you do what you intuitively feel moved to do. It ain't about, like, you know, again, that little voice of like, oh, you're not being productive. Oh, you're not doing this. Oh, you're not, like, inner being not coming at us like that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, if we do feel that sense of, we think that's our inner being, you know, we might want to take a little step back, you know, and, you know, meditate, go within, you know, journal, do whatever you got to do on your spiritual practices to kind of bring yourself back to the center. But again, like a lot of the overwhelming energy, you know, also possibly feeling drained, you know what I'm saying? That's another thing. Not blaming stuff on other beings, you know, because, you know, go to feel drained, like, oh, somebody must be draining my energy or this and that, you know what I'm saying? And even with that, you know, in this, in the parody of this realm, you know, yeah, it could be something in essence, you know, let's just say draining your energy for lack of a better word. But guess what? You know, it's something dealing with you that has that connection with that energy that, you know, or let's just say this, you know, you got to do your spiritual practices that help for you to not feel so overwhelmed or drained, you know, by these situations externally, you know what I'm saying? Now, again, though, some moments it is just, you know, it's inevitable. Like, we just, like, get bombarded by energies. And again, now it's the vibrate. If I'm feeling overwhelmed, if I'm feeling drained, if I'm feeling, you know, that energy, then it just is what it is. Like, just, again, like, just rest, you know what I'm saying? Tap in with your inner guidance and ask, you know, what is this trying to tell me? Like, what is this draining energy? Where is this coming from? What is this trying to tell me, you know, about myself? You know what I'm saying? Instead of, you know, again, blaming something outside of yourself or being harsh on yourself, feeling like, oh man, I must not be, you know, I must not be good, or, you know, again, like, just that programming of good and bad and that type of perspective. Because that's another thing that stands true up in this realm, is that, you know, pain is going to exist and contrast is going to exist. Now, again, there's a difference between pain and suffering. You know, we're not trying to prolong the pain, but pain will exist, you know what I'm saying? And contrast will exist, stuff that, you know, that quote unquote challenges us, you know, things that are disagreeable. Like, no matter where you go, if you've been around for at least about 10 years or more, you know, let's say 20 years or more, you know what I'm saying? You don't realize, like, even in places that you love to be in, there may be some contrast there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may love to be in a certain city, but there are certain things that still, like, but I don't like this about the city. You know, you just chose the place that, you know, best suits you, and there's less contrast, but the contrast exists regardless, you know what I'm saying? And again, it's more so about, you know, again, being observant without judgment and how we respond to things, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, just that little reminder. Again, it's okay. Your human tendencies is okay. Don't feel shame or guilt for being, you know, for being human, so to speak. Of course, again, like, for being on a human experience. And also with the energy of, you know, making sure you ask for help if you need it. You know, in certain moments it felt tough to, you know, publicly, you know, like, hey, I need a little help, guys. Any and all donations are greatly appreciated. You know what I'm saying? And I realized, and you got to stop and sit back and really ask those questions. Like, all right, what inside of me feels like that's so bad to ask for help? You know what I'm saying? Because you start to see, like, it's something in me that is telling me to ask for help. And then there's a voice that's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So which voice, you know, like, and you got to just sit back. That's when you really got to sit back and, like, ask those questions. And in essence, like, when we talk about doing the work or the inner work, you know, it's like, well, you know, like, slow down for a second and be like, all right, where that voice coming from? Like, what is that? Why wouldn't I, you know, ask for help? You know, like, I done did this, that, and the third, and something still hasn't manifested or whatever the case may be. So it's obvious that I may need a little help in this moment. You know what I'm saying? And in most cases, we be put in that position because we may be in that energy, or, you know, again, like, gotta do it all myself, And again, that Capricorn archetype, you know what I'm saying? And a toxic level is like not, you know, trying to do everything yourself and the root cause, because again, you want to know the root cause of things. Like, the root cause is like not trusting, well, first it starts with inner trust, but not trusting to, you know, give tasks to other people and allow for other people to help you. Like, not again, all the perfectionists, like not trust, like, oh, they ain't gonna do it like how I do it. You know, they not gonna edit a video like how I would edit a video. You know, they not gonna write that music verse like how I would write that music verse. They not gonna, you know, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of other little examples, but, you know, you get the picture. Like, you know, it's like that energy, you know, could prevent you, you know, from tapping into, you know, opportunities in your now moment, and just, you know, healing in general, you know what I'm saying? And different strokes for different folks, you know, we all got different little karmic energies that we're transmuting, you know, and a lot of us have a unique signature, you know, and that's another thing too, you know, it's like knowing that we're tapping into our uniqueness, you know, when we're doing things that we don't see other people, you know, in essence doing, you know, per se. You know, I think of myself, like, there's a certain way I do my videos, and when I look at my videos and I've seen others, it's like, all right, yeah, you know, like, I uniquely, you know, like, I think of, like, you know, like walking and doing videos, you know, that was something that was pretty unique, you know what I'm saying? Like, most wouldn't walk in and do their videos, you know what I'm saying? Or, again, being in, like, very public places, you know what I'm saying, and doing videos, like, I would, and again, that's a small, because that ain't, like, per se a uniqueness to, you know, to that extent. You know, there's other things that would go into the way I would do my videos, but, you know, that's a part of it, because I was thinking, you know, like, doing videos, I think whenever I had to do my videos by the Staples Center in LA, that was kind of, you know, like, because I even think of some videos with people, like, you know, passing by and having to stay, you know, in tune with the message amongst, you know, the energy surrounding me. But, you know, again, you know, tapping into that uniqueness. You know, love yourself right now, and don't judge yourself at all, and definitely for not, you know, again, don't judge yourself for having human tendencies, you know what I'm saying? You're in a human bodysuit, you know what I'm saying? A human vehicle. It got certain things that comes along with that, you know what I'm saying? So, wanted to bring that up into the awareness, and just how important right now in general, you know what I'm saying, and why it always been the thing, you know what I'm saying, of, like, you know, self-acceptance, unconditional love, and acceptance of yourself, you know, because more and more we get to a space where if you haven't, quote unquote, done that shadow work and step into a space of, like, really unconditionally loving yourself, you know, as the veil thin And as the energies kind of just, change more and more, it's going to become more and more obvious of those areas that we aren't accepting of ourselves. And depending on the level of how much of that work you've done or haven't done, it could get real, overwhelming, to the point of almost probably feeling paralyzing, and not fear mongering, but that's the truth of the situation. Like, you want to be prepared so you don't have to get prepared as things keep shifting. Because again, hence why for myself, like having to take a break from doing so many videos like how I used to, because I saw that I needed to sit and apply certain things a lot more. It's like, fuck what somebody else may think, like, oh, Universal fell off or this or that. It's like, shit, it is what it is. I need to do this work a little stronger, so let me step back a little bit and do what I gotta do. Because at the end of the day, it's not, I'm not here, again, like to create that false image of, oh, I never fuck up, or, I never have to slow down from doing videos, or I never have to, It's like, shit, like, it's definitely moments where, more focus is needed on the inner work and taking that step back to do so, and not feeling, again, judgmental towards myself for, having to do that. But, that's basically it. Again, and something telling me to share. And again, we're not waiting till these things clear up or any of that. It's just a awareness, that these things are affecting us. If I find it, if not, I ain't gonna worry about speaking on it. Or at least giving the dates. I'm looking. Alright, I don't see it in my notes. I'm least expected, but that's it. To not worry about it. But just, again, what I was just going to speak to is just, dealing with these, the retrograde energies, and they're feeling a little overwhelming. And that's also, again, it's like that life review energy, and making sure that we're making the necessary changes, like, because now we're getting a super microscope on, certain things that we dealt with in our past, and, responding differently from here on out, because what's going on in our now moment, the now is simultaneously the past and the future. So, what you're doing right now goes into the next lifetime, and how we move, in that space, so very key, very important. But yeah, take care of yourself. Making sure you don't allow for, certain things in this realm to, for lack of a better word, close your heart chakra or close your heart space, because that's the key. You gotta navigate through the waters, like, speaking of navigate, navigate through the subconscious waters, navigating, because that's where we talk about astrology. Astrology is like a navigation system in essence too, and how to navigate, using the stars and the planets, navigating our way through the subconscious waters, and the different zodiac signs are different, in essence, psychological archetypes, and mental archetypes, you could say emotional archetypes and physical archetypes, because, certain zodiac archetypes have a certain physical build, or they have certain, areas of focus, like Capricorn, focus on the knees and the bones. And also when you get into cell salts, you know what I'm saying, not to go too deep into it, but you know, you got cell salts in the body, and there are 12 of them, you know, connected to the 12 archetypes, the 12 disciples, 12 apostles, all that, you know, the 12 tribes of Israel. You know, there are cell salts connected with each zodiac sign, and because we're only in the womb for 9 months, you know, in essence, we're missing 2 to 3 of those cell salts, and that's going to come with not necessarily like health problems. In essence, more so pointing to a certain area where the health problems may be. Because if I'm missing the cell salt, most of them are combinations. So as I say, just calcium, you know what I'm saying, it'd be probably like calcium sulfide or something like that. But like if I'm missing, you know, the calcium cell salt, you know, then, you know, in essence, in most cases, my bone health may be the thing to pay attention to. I may have to focus on my bone health a little more than somebody who does have the calcium cell salt in abundance. You know what I'm saying? And hence why, you know, not comparing ourselves, you know, upon our journey, you know, because you know, that could become, you know, yeah, we could share little notes, you know what I'm saying, and like, hey, well, this is what I've been doing, you know, to help myself, this or that. But at the end of the day, you know, you got to find your own little regiment, you know, your own way of application, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's it. So again, you know, and what I was saying again, like keeping that heart chakra, that heart space open, you know what I'm saying? Being present, you know, constantly being in the state of gratitude, knowing that in most cases, whatever doubts and fears you're dealing with, you know, it's not nobody putting a spell on you or because of so-and-so did this to me in the past. It all has to deal with you, because at the end of the day, you attracted those situations to you. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's a, you know, it's a balanced understanding, of course, you know, although it starts with you and it is you who attracted it, you know, yeah, once you know that, you know, you don't have to go back to dealing with that person, because obviously, you know, you were only dealing with that person because you were, you know, in some form of misalignment. You know what I'm saying? And having to accept the fact, like, all right, you know, it's meant for me to move forward, because that relationship only existed, you know, with that person, place, or thing, you know what I'm saying? Not just a person or being, you know, but that relationship only existed because I was in victim mode, or that relationship only existed because I wasn't being confident in myself to the fullest, you know, or whatever the case may be. And because we may have grown attached to certain people, places, or things, you know what I'm saying? It could feel tough to, you know, let that energy go, you know, and part of the human aspect, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, may feel a little tough to let certain things go, but it is what it is, you know. At some point, you know, it's either, you know, like if I try to hold on to this tree and walk across the field, you know, I'm gonna just keep doing this, you know, I ain't gonna go nowhere, you know what I'm saying? So I have to like let the tree go in order to walk across the field over there, you know what I'm saying? So that's for sure it, you know what I'm saying? Peace. Y'all know what it is. Not too far in the future, not too far in the past, right now. Peace, y'all.